in unknowledge, in irrationality. So in other words, to be a part of the occult, you have to have experiences. Whether you're in Wicca, whether you're in a Freemason,
Possessed.
whether you're a part of any of those things, you learn specifically by having, you learn about the occult specifically by having experiences. That's why meditation is really important to the occult. It's a part of it. You know more about the universe by having experiences with the universe. That's why in the 60s people were taking so many drugs, because they were trying to have those experiences with inside themselves to find truth outside of themselves and what exists. But drug taking could be a part of the occult, but also just having experiences. And it diverges into several different places and beliefs on whatever it is. There's no real official writings, but they believe that the whole world is full of writings which lead back to the universal truths. See? So, but inside of that, there are kind of official writers. Wicca would branch this way. Freemasonry would branch a different way. You know, there are different beliefs inside of that. Satanism would take a hardcore version of biblical values and say, well, the devil is basically good and God is basically evil, and we also believe in these other things. It's just it's a twisting of all those things. Yeah. But there is no solid way of coming to the truth inside of the occult. But there's a high valuing of experiences on what those are. But just as a frame of reference, so as a base, there's really a non-knowledge. Yes?
This is slightly off topic, but kind of on topic.
Yeah.
So dealing with the occult and like what you're saying about like energy and all that stuff, I've heard some Christians make very, very, very convincing arguments against doing yoga.
Yeah.
And then I've heard other Christians arguing that it's okay to do it, but the arguments that I've heard against it are that like when yoga was created, it was created as a religion. Yes. Each pose is a pose designed to worship a specific God, and so let me
bring it up this way and explain it. All of our, you have to keep in mind, Roman Catholicism is also conjoined with this because it comes from Roman paganism, which is before Roman paganism. This is really old as a belief system, the way to worship the gods and goddesses and those things. It transcends many, many years. But talking about Christian, two things. We have to be careful about what we invite inside of church and church congregation. You just got to be really careful, right? What makes a thing good or evil? That's a good question. Why is anything good or evil? How it's used, and what it's associated with, right? When it loses its association, is it then evil? Because we celebrate Christmas, and it's lost its association. Christmas was originally a pagan holiday.
Yeah.
And so those are all worship of the seasons, holidays. But we gave them Christian names because Catholicism combined with Christianity and Roman paganism. That's what happened. Is it wrong to celebrate those things? I think that's part possibly individual choice, but I think that those things are so far detached from their origination that there's something different. Now, if we're combining transcendental meditation with yoga, which is an occult practice to get have out-of-body experiences, to be transcendent of yourself,
inner eye,
to see with your inner eye and be transcendent of yourself, that's a tool of the occult. Basically, I believe that's hypnosis, because I know a little bit about hypnosis.
I've done yoga and I just feel like I'm just doing the good work.
But
and I just relax.
The West is the only, the United States specifically, is the only place on earth that yoga is practiced as a form of exercise and not a form of religion. If you go to any Asian countries, any Pacific countries, the only people who practice yoga are people who believe in the yogi gods and who are doing it as a form of God worship. So it would be like celebrating Christmas as a Christian while pagans were celebrating winter solstice. They're not removed from each other.
Let's put it this way too. Anything can be a tool of the devil or some kind of religious practice. I can make those curtains represent something. as a non-Christian and worship the thing it represents, there would probably be some kind of connection there with actual spiritual things, because there's a real demonic world.
Yeah.
And they're waiting for that stuff.
Yeah.
If we take the scripture the way it is, you don't see demon possession really just coming to anybody, right?
Yeah.
You see demon possession coming to people who give themselves to demon possession, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're going through processes of worship and the rest. Well, that'll tell you something about the spiritual world. Just like the waves, there's a boundary which God has said you cannot go further. The devil has to come, when Job's being persecuted, the devil has to give an account for what he's doing in the earth. The devil is coming before God on a regular basis saying, I did these things, because he has to give an accounting for it. He can't go beyond it. And remember those demons that said, don't throw us into the pit before our time. Before our time, what does that mean? Maybe God even has a little bit of mercy for them, that they have some kind of realm of being able to live, and that they can cross that boundary, but then that's it for them. And also, people can allow them to cross that boundary because we have free will. So their big goal is to not try and get free will for non-believers to cross those boundaries. And some of those ways is through worship. They're worshiping the false gods and things. Because they'll attach themselves to those things that make them very real for those people. So, take yoga. It's body positions.
Yeah.
Sometimes I do down dog because I'm stretching my back in the morning. It doesn't mean I'm worshiping the sun.
Yeah.
But you might just give it a different name. Why call it yoga?
We had
I know, I just.
my when I had the studio, our what do you call her? The woman that does the aerobics classes and the health classes and what do you call it? Personal trainers. Our personal trainer that ran the exercise program broke her leg, so she had to take up yoga. So she taught yoga at the studio. She's never called it anything, and I don't have a problem with it. I've been in yoga classes where I'm like creepy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can feel it. That's why we have the Holy. I mean, that's why we have the Holy Spirit. I've been in yoga classes where I'm like creepy. I'm gonna finish this up, tell a couple people about Jesus, and leave, and not come back to this one. And then I've been in yoga classes like the ones that we had at my studio where we didn't call it yoga. We just did stretching. It's just the body. I do these poses every week in my classes because that's. I mean, they're done for a reason. You know what I mean? Your leg goes up on your other leg in a triangle position because it stretches the right kind of muscles you need.
Or there's something not wrong about centering and relaxation either. But when we're delving into trying to have an out-of-body experience or contact a spirit world, it's very different. Even if it's the universe is a spirit world.
The other night I did yoga in my house, and I did it with this girl called Yoga with Adrian. She's like, most people probably think she's really annoying, and I don't know why she doesn't annoy me, but she's just this little mousy girl, and she does all these different yoga classes, and I picked like a bedtime yoga and some other stretching yoga. But in the middle of the thing, she's like, now, what did she even say? Touch your thumbs to your forehead and just be, find your inner peace. It said something to the effect of buy your heart into things. And I'm sitting there in my living room,
she's trying to get you to open your chakras.
Didn't put my hand on the top of my forehead like this, and I just sat there and I was like still in my I was like sitting in a cross-legged position, I think, and I just was like, thank you, Jesus, for this day.
Yeah.
Like it's like I'm not inviting. I'm not doing that, and I'm not inviting that spirit into my heart. Although I do think
this would go under the same.
You could get into it if you don't aren't aware of it.
I think this is filtered under the same idea as when the Christians were eating at temples that serve food, right? But it's been offered to an idol. But that's the place where you get good steak. So they go and get good steak. But another Christian sees him getting good steak in front of the idol, and he used to be an idol worshiper, and he's like, you're worshiping an idol, right? So there you go. You're not worshiping an idol. You're just eating steak.
Yeah.
Right? And that guy didn't say, I offered this to this idol, even though he did.
Yeah.
He's not testing you to try and make you a part of his religion.
Yeah.
He's just putting steak there.
I guess the thing that just concerns me with that kind of stuff is the devil's oldest trick in the book. Literally the original sin was him saying, it's fine, it's harmless.
Yes.
Eat the fruit. Nothing's gonna happen to you. And I feel especially I know so many people who the ladies at church do yoga together back home, and it's to me, I would be concerned that it's like, of course yoga can't hurt you. Of course
Right,
you should
and
do
like
it.
what happens?
It's totally fine.
I would
But
say-
like the fact that like each pose is designed to worship a god. Like I'm not gonna. What did they do to worship Baal? They were cutting themselves with swords and dancing around saying, Baal, Baal, help it. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to cut myself with a sword and dance around crying out to Baal because I don't want to worship Baal. So I wouldn't want to do other things that are seen and interpreted as an act of worship to a different deity.
And I think that's
because
just
I would
it.
be concerned about evil spirits
And that kind of thing.
preying on
I think-
that weakness.
And I think though too, as a Christian, there's two things. As a Christian, you don't really have to be too concerned
Yeah.
because God goes with you wherever you are. Second of all, second of all too, yeah, there are things you just avoid like that, right?
Yeah.
But I also think it's a third too, is that it takes individual discernment because there's some people that are just eating steak, and there are other people that see that as idol worship, and then there's somebody who's like, I can have Jesus in this idol too. What's the difference?
Yeah.
Right? If you talk about people coming out of the occult, you gotta be really careful because they're like, I used to be a part of the occult, and I used to have this spirit guide, and we used to talk all the time. And when things get really bad with God, where God's asking you to do hard things, it might be tempting to go back to the spirit guide. Even though it probably wouldn't go over well for either of you. You know, when I see a new convert, always interesting. When I see somebody give their life to Jesus, who's lived a really sinful life and was everything really good at, you see so much temptation come right at them supernaturally, trying to get them away from following Jesus. And I'd be careful about that. I think it opens up a better topic. I think you have to be cautious about anything inside a church. And I think that there's a good portion in the church that wants to be so worldly that they're accepting other religions. Like I would be careful of some things that are ending up inside the church because they're lending themselves to just the occult. But I also think that there are some things that are just like, because it's always been called one thing, that's what people call it, even though it's not really yoga.
Yeah.
Or it's not really that thing.
It's just stretching.
It's just
not,
stretching.
Yeah.
That's all, you know what I mean?
Okay.
And so that's the big cocktail that we're left with. But it's no different than the cocktail people were left with idol worship and eating food at idols temples. We don't have idols temples here in the U.S.
Yeah.
As much. Yes.